She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly I've been all in my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said I've been going on my way just to trust, and told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose the feeling every single time we touch. All these bitches play too much and that's the issue. I can't fuck with none of them, man, I can't pretend to. And how you going ghost after everything we've been through? I'm sending SOS cause I don't get the signals. I'm looking up and I can use an angel. I wish we could go back to being strangers. I know that you're going through stages. I'm beginning to think we toxic and endangered. You're not loving me no more, I'm just losing. I just wanna know who you think you're fooling. Heartbreak hotel, I'm out of moving. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly I've been all in my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said I've been going on my way just to trust, and told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose the feeling every single time we touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Play Crossfire GG. My name is Blakert_CS. I have the lovely Mr. Henry Bat to help guide you through the action today. And Henry Bat, we have an interesting matchup on our hands. It's going to be Aura, who have gone through some roster changes, taking on Detonate, a roster that has looked very strong in recent times.
100%, and it's weirdly enough, it's an elimination match from Group F, right? Both these teams go 0-1 to start the season. If you find yourself in that 0-2 bracket in realistically any season of Crossfire during the group stages, you can kiss your playoff chances goodbye. So it's going to be a pretty important match. To realistically, to start off on this, I think we should go over all the teams that have been in Crossfire. Now, there's 32 of them. There's a lot of them here, and there's some pretty big names in there, right? You can see After Image, Aura on the top row, Celestial Esports, Club 333 with Coach Valens, the Cloud9 major winning coach, Iowa Stormbore, FRZ unit. You can read them all in front of you, and it's probably one of our most powerful seasons yet here at Crossfire Season 5.
Yeah, and I think what stands out to me is kind of the level of competition we have across this team list. I mean, you have teams the caliber of, like you mentioned, Club 333, the Villainous, and then all the way down to 10 Toes Down and, for lack of better words, Holly Molly. But as we take a look at how our current standings are, Henry Bat, do you have anything that kind of stands out to me? Because in my opinion, it's My Life Be Like in Group D already at 2-0.
Oh, yeah, that's a big step forward for that squad right there. But it is still early doors, right? We know that it is very volatile in the group stages here when you're playing three best of threes, realistically, one against each team. You can have weird standings, and it's going to come down to head-to-head, and then I think round differential to see who can make it through. Now, some of these groups very clearly, like you can see Group G, I don't know what team that is. They're 0-3. The logo doesn't stand out to me, but they're gone. They're done. They're not going to be making playoffs, and it's hard sometimes, right? When you get into these groups, and all of a sudden you're looking down the barrel of an Iowa Stormbore or a Regain or a Wanted Goons. You're like, oh my God, I'm not making it out of this group, right? These are like top advanced level teams. You're just going to get run over. So it is unfortunate, but this is a grassroots tournament at the end of the day. So the only real thing that does stand out, like you said, My Life Be Like.
Yeah, I also want to touch on how competitive Group A is. We have Regain, Outfit 49, Overtake Sector, which is kind of a reunion of Party Astronauts and Fluffy Aimers players. And I mean, out of those three teams alone, it is going to be a very tough bracket to see who actually makes it into the playoffs. But Henry Bat, I want to focus on what we've got in front of us tonight. That's Detonate versus Aura. And this matchup, like we talked about, Aura with some new faces into the lineup. Detonate have looked very strong over the past few weeks. I mean, just recently they claimed a 2-1 victory over Regain, mind you, in Nostalgia to clinch their way into playoffs of the Nostalgia League. But in terms of ESEA, they found themselves 5th in the regular season and advanced with a 4-1 record of playoffs. That roster consists of Tatum, Jonty, Karn, Farrell, and Duke. And the standout for me on Detonate has to be Duke.
I fully agree, right? Duke, he's been the star performer so far. Even last season when they went 1-2 in Season 4 of Crossfire, he was their star player. And to go to the opposite direction of that, Karn is the guy I'm going to be looking for today. He had a .70 record against Festina Lente in that 0-2 loss just days ago, a .48 on Nuke and a .90 on Dust2, so he's really going to have to step it up. On the opposite side, Aura, though, we were kind of babbling back and forth about how to say this name. Zen, the old guard there for Aura. Schust, Hollow, and Margot. And Hollow, I kind of got my eye on him, same as Karn. Poor performance, .69 against Beyond Limits in that 0-2 matchup. So two players that I got my eye on, Karn and Hollow. How about you, Blake?
Yeah,
what do you got?
And I mean, I kind of already touched on my player for Duke. It's in terms of Aura, though, it's going to be Zen, because we talked about how the Aura roster has kind of gone through a shuffling phase in the past few weeks, and Zen is going to be the only member that still resides there. And so I think if he's really looking to kind of prove that he still belongs on this roster, he's going to really need to step up and lead his team in the right direction tonight.
100%, fully agreed. Zen is from the old Aura roster that did play in Season 56 against Detonate, where they lost 13-8 on Mirage. It was kind of a shellacking, if you will. Aura definitely need to step up. This new roster needs to take a deep breath and realize that if they go 0-2 in Season 5, they're going to join their standings from Season 3 and Season 4, which were 0-3. And I don't think the Aura org wants to repeat that again. They want to take those steps forward. They continuously come back to Crossfire and always have that sour taste in your mouth of going 0-3 in groups. I don't think that's what they want. Tonight, this is their first chance, though. They have to take out Detonate, a very strong, now advanced level team. And I think that their chances might weigh a little bit as the veto has come through.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see how that veto actually plays out, because in the series that they played against Regain, it was a very back-and-forth affair that I believe saw us on Inferno, Dust 2, maps like that. And so, in my eyes, in terms of the grand scheme of things, Henry Bat, it feels like in order for Detonate to come out on top, they really need to come into this matchup warm, and not just come into it warm, and just fire on all cylinders, because the other night when I got the opportunity to cast them, it felt like they were a little bit slow starting in the first map, but were able to pull off some rounds that they maybe shouldn't have been able to win. And for Aura, it feels like that this team has to try and come together and be very cohesive at an early start to this roster.
I fully agree. I think the Detonate squad is looking at this saying, listen, we just battled our way through main. We're now in advanced. This Aura roster went 7-7. They've made some changes for maybe not the better. The average elo on the team went down by about 350. So I fully agree with your sentiment there. Detonate needs to play a very strong, smart, meticulous game where, on map 1, Inferno, they can't give too much over. They need to play patient. They need to make sure their utility usage is good, not to get chunked down or hit by the early swings that we know Aura is probably going to do. The advantage is not in their corner, so they need to make that advantage. And on a map like Inferno, as you and I both know, it is utility, 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 swing. And I think Aura is going to do that. FC Detonate better be ready.
Yeah, and Henry Bat, what I'll ask you, since we don't necessarily have the vetoes ready just yet, do you have any predictions for where either team is going to try and take this, at least in terms of their own map pick? And I'll double down and ask, do you have any predictions for the matchup? Because in my eyes, it feels like it should be a relatively one-sided match for Detonate, but I've been told that we can just go ahead and discuss the vetoes. So Henry Bat, break it down for me.
Okay, break it down. Overpass Mirage Band, no stress. It's going to be Inferno and Ancient to start. Inferno picked by FC Detonate, though, getting that T-side start, and this is where they need to play that patience. I do agree. I still think it's going to be the 2-0 for FC Detonate. I don't think it's going to be too heavily in their advantage, maybe like a 13-10, 13-9 on Inferno. And then I'm guessing maybe overtime on Ancient. It's not one of their stronger maps. It's like their 4th, 5th map. They're not going to ban it. They're not going to get it out of the way. But, you know, if it slides through, it slides through. It's one of those maps where they probably know the utility, they probably know how to fight down catwalk, and they probably know how to give mid control if the pressure from the T side comes through. But I still think it's going to be that 2-0 for Detonate.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that if there's any opportunity for Aura to really create some chaos into the communications, into the backline, and even to some of the setups that Detonate have set up, it's going to be on a map like Ancient. So it'll be up to Aura to really see if they have that mental fortitude to, and I hate to go, you know, riding a map off already, but it feels like with Detonate, the role they've been on recently, it feels like they should take Inferno with relative ease. But like I said, I feel like Aura will need to come into Ancient swinging full function and swinging with full power in order to really capitalize on this opportunity they've created for themselves, because we've touched on it already. There is a new face, or new faces, coming into this Aura lineup where Detonate have been well-rounded since around Frags Syracuse. So without further ado, we have map number 1 of FC Detonate versus Aura, the map of Inferno, the pick of Detonate as well, underway. As you mentioned, Henry Bat, Detonate find themselves on that T side. Aura do have the opportunity to really start strong with a CT side start, but with the amount of back and forth diversion that I expect to see from Detonate, it's going to be an awkward situation.
HUD's got to load in here just a little bit, and I want to touch on a point here that you spoke about after this long contact comes through. Being analysts and casters at the same time, it's hard to not have a bias, but we have to make that pick come through, and I still think it's going to be the 2-0 for Detonate as they pounce out of apps onto a site. Zen, your boy holds it down. He plays a quick trade, and it's just Tatum and Dupe left alone, and they're going to try to cross onto site, but it's already established here. Hollow with Zen ready to fight forward.
Ooh, great double peek, though. Tatum able to find one for the second, but it's ringing around the rosy of mid-side as Hollow will pull off supplemental kills to be able to find Aura's round win. And It felt like a relatively standard CT-sided pistol round. Once there was contact in towards long haul, Aura kind of understood the fact that there was not going to be anyone banana, still sent someone down to try and hard clear it out. But nonetheless, Aura able to find the pistol round. As a result, will look to press the agenda forward with MP9s and FAMASs, and detonate. All they have to work with is Glocks and a few HE grenades. So we'll see how this round leads.
This is the patient play that Detonate has to run, right? A well-oiled machine doesn't always mean it's running at full tilt, right? It just means it has the ability to start up, it has the ability to brake, it has the ability to slow down, take those corners correctly, and make a good plan. And that's exactly what's happening here. Tatum trying to throw a little caution to the wind towards top banana, nades to support, and it doesn't really do much damage. Hollow is here. He's got Kawauzi, and they're waiting for this fight. They're staying close on it. They're hungry for those eco frags.
Yeah, and you can already see the patience from Detonate on display. The rest of the squad just waiting for any counter-aggression towards top mid. It feels like Karn's going to be the next point of contact to try and draw rotations from Aura, but considering that Detonate are only on Glocks, the rotations shouldn't be needed from Aura. They should look to just be still as statue, but Kawauzi is getting close towards the barrels and is able to find a headshot onto Tatum. The other two members of Detonate has gone slipping through the smoke, but Hollow is here to cover all angles, and Dupe surprisingly is able to convert a kill.
Ooh, that is good. 45 seconds on the clock, and they can work their way back, but the pressure on Banana still comes through. Hollow changing positions towards sandbags. He finds the first, looks for more, digs deep behind it, but takes a gush, or a dink rather, from the Glock. Zen finds the frag on the opposite side of the map, and it should be all done and dusted here. Aura 2-0 start. Detonate to come back with the AKs, though, and they've learned a little bit. Nades that come down Banana from Aura are disconnected. One lands at barrels and one lands deep, so they could exploit that. Now, I don't even know if we're live right now. We're fixing the HUD, I think.
Yeah, I believe a little bit of a HUD fix, but nonetheless, like we talked about, a solid first few rounds from Aura. Rifles should be onto the board for Detonate, and I definitely think that this is where Detonate will start to find their footing on this map of Inferno. I mean, I talked about the patient play that Detonate really need to come into this with, and I think that the key for Detonate is going to be trying to identify how fast that Aura are actually rotating to be able to expose maybe some of that weakness. But nonetheless, rifles do find their way into the hands of Detonate for the brief moment that we got to see it.
How many rounds do you think Detonate needs on their T side? Like, don't think about normal Counter-Strike, Tier 1 or Tier 2 HLTV stats. Think about, based on the information you know on these two teams, how many do you think they truly need on the T side to bring this one home?
Honestly, I think at minimum you need to find 5. That feels like an absolute minimum across any T side. I think that especially reigns true on a map like an Inferno. However, I still think that we're off to the right start. I mean, you can see how reserved they're playing on this A-bomb site, and it's only a matter of time until Detonate identify that there's only one player really contesting brackets, but still, there's only SMGs in the hands of Aura, so plenty of adjustments to be made as the rifles come in.
Yeah, good nades down mid early as well. Just harassment onto Tatum and Shantae. They get caught early. That MP9 strikes. Schust does his best to find one, and massive damage to another. Look at the HP. 3 players from Detonate susceptible to one shot with the MP9 or the FAMAS. And the stack on A site starts to crumble. Maybe not. Zen finds a fight onto Karn, and it didn't seem like he should have swung that, but he finds the frag anyways. 3v2 going onto the A site. The execute's coming through. Aura, buckle down.
Well-placed Molotov will separate Farrell from his team. The flashbang over the top allows him to find an entrance, but there's still a player sitting in cold zero, and that's Zen. He's able to convert 2 kills, looking for the third, but didn't have enough ammo to finish the job. And now it becomes a 2v1. The HUD is a little bit deceiving. But Dupe is playing this properly, able to get the numbers in, so a little bit of a cash injection, but still has to be cautious of the double up towards Moto, and he will be caught off guard by the MP9. So a successful conversion from Aurora grants them AK-47s in the hands, and, I mean, what more could you ask for?
I want to know how much damage was done by nades there. The first 2 nades down mid dropped Karn and I believe Tatum or Farrell down to 47 and 51 HP. Then the molly towards bracket side as they swung through it dropped 3 players to 50 and 60 HP. So early damage from Aura works. I think Detonate, although already playing patient, need to be a little bit more so. They can't just allow this utility to chip them down and give rounds like that over to Aura. 3-0 start, and look at the purchase. Nothing on the T side, essentially. P250, 4 Tech 9s, and a spattering of utility.
Zen does also have that AWP, the immediate mid-peak, completely dissuaded from with the HE grenade that Detonate were able to chunk all the way up. Still, Detonate looking to corral around this B bomb site. It's going to be a tough one to try and break through. But with the amount of utility they have to create space and create some vulnerabilities, it feels doable. They just have to play their cards right. However, you can see that Zen is already ahead of the curve, already getting this rotation, proactively going through Speedway, looking to offer support towards the B-bomb site, and his rotation is going to be cemented by this utility.
That's a beautiful rotation time to get into sight. Utility lands and they let them have it. Aura know exactly what's on the other side. Tech-9s and pistols. They're going to play a patient retake here. Belts of utility to come back through. As Aura already start posturing, they're stopping the plant, forcing it to go where they want it to. As a resmoke lands CT, the Cavalry have arrived. 5v5 in this post plant, and it's going to be a difficult one for Detonate to hold off.
Zen collecting that first kill with the AWP, a reswing from Tatum, and he separates the head from the shoulders. The op is recovered. That's a great deal of investment as Dupe collects a second. Tatum's going to be next in line with that AWP, but the shot doesn't connect. Dupe goes swinging, and he pays the price. Tatum on for 2, looking for the third, and collects the hat trick. But Detonate, a round that they had no business pulling off, is a round that will start their momentum here on the T side.
Hell yeah, perfect round from them, and I thought Aura had that. They had the utility that landed on site. It stopped the bomb plant, forced it where it wanted to go. It seemed like they had the plan to get off site and set up for a retake, but it doesn't come through. Detonate stepped forward and smashed with the Tech-9s, finding their first. And now it comes down to Aura being able to bounce back from that. That's a round you shouldn't lose. That's one of those in your pug when you're like, oh my god, we're going to lose this game because of that. So
Yeah,
it's the mental game that Aura has to play now.
The one thing I want to touch on is it felt like Aura gave too much space to Detonate, especially for them to be on Tech-9s. I feel like the idea of giving space to the lesser weapons is a good idea at its premise, but when it comes down to the B site, one of the hardest sites to retake in all of Counter-Strike, that's absolutely unacceptable, and it's a round that I think is going to come to haunt Aura.
You can see what they're doing now. They're posturing back towards Banana side. They don't want to give this space up. They have extra smokes. It is what it is, but they actually fall back, as I call it. Caster curse them, 2.5 minutes behind. But it is Banana control to be gained by Detonate at 1 minute. They have to go back, grab brackets, as Aura is still postured for the fight. If Detonate execute onto site, they might have a chance here, but it is a Crossfire established with a couple of M4s.
Yeah, and I'm honestly surprised that Aura haven't gotten a rotation already heading towards the B site. Karn's frag out towards Long Haul will not make them think about that any longer, because they're just going to want to stuff this A take before it even happens. You can even see that the rotation from Hollow is being thought about, but Kawos does have to find at least 2 to make this retake viable for his teammates.
Oh yeah, I thought Shantae was going to go through this. Utility coming in. They're going to slide through the smoke before this blooms. The dodge of the flash is good. He gets himself 1, but Farrell plays the trade. Onto site they go like locusts. The rotate is in. Hollow from that coffin's position. Going to try to play spoil, but it's Karn to collect the flank. 3v4 in the post plant. And the fight towards Banana does go Tatum's way. He finds that frag that Karn couldn't finish, and as a resmoke comes into CT spawn, the Exodus has to come through. Schust wants nothing to do with this. He's already gone. Hollow trying to catch up to him quickly. And he's got time as that smoke only about halfway through. Second on the board for Detonate as they pounce on the B site again. Nicely done.
Yeah, it was beautiful from Detonate, really just taking their time, making their way up Banana. It forced Aura to be paranoid, especially with that frag that happened towards Long Haul. And so, a beautiful manipulation of the rotations, but still, Aura not looking solid on their CT side. I mean, the first 3 rounds, I think, are expected, especially if you win the pistol. But with Detonate already looking as solid as they are in drawing rotations from Detonate, it's going to be a tough time. I mean, like, Karn finding that single frag out Long Haul feels unacceptable. The fact that the Aura player was still just kind of lingering around and poking and prodding just felt unwarranted, especially when Aura had full brackets control. So, in my eyes, if the brackets control does take place, though, from the side of Aura, I feel like even if Karn doesn't get cleared, that it's still acceptable. And already missed utility from Aura in round 6. The missed bottom banana smoke gives a free pathway up towards Karn for Detonate.
Oh, another free pick for Karn towards Apps again. It's Hollow's turn to go down to this not so aggressive Apps play. I think Aura are playing not to lose right now. They lose that silly round against Tech-9s on B site that we both said was unacceptable. And then they just play super defensive. This solo fight towards Banana to retake it, it just seems like Boromir or Faramir trying to retake the city outside the White City in Lord of the Rings. Run into your death, my friend. I don't know if you get the Lord of the Rings reference. I kind of bumbled it around. It is just Margod left alone. It's going to be a third on the board for Detonate as they patch the holes quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's just the patience really being put on display from Detonate. And Aura getting a little bit too paranoid about some of these late moves is what's costing them in these rounds. Margod has a timing around Karn, but I feel like Karn is going to try and beat this, and successfully will. A pre-fire from Margod, maybe even tap of the mouse on the keyboard, but nonetheless,
So
third successful round for Detonate, and money's starting to really build up for Detonate's side, so if Aura can't turn this around here, then it feels like it's going to be a cemented first half for the side of Detonate, and man, a solid showing from them already. I talked about them needing to come into this warm, and maybe not so much warming up into the series, but here we are.
No op on the CT side. I figured Zen would have got that. Didn't save quite correctly enough, and Aura changing the game up. That passive play about to be exploited here. Duke does find the first. Great top of the smoke as well by design, and they find a double. They don't need to speed up on it. The resmoke comes through. They have a good read that there's one more towards Banana side, and they start clearing towards Apps. Nicely done. 5v3. And Detonate just going to slowly start to constrict this space on the A site. Zen has half a mind to rotate and get straight off B. But Detonate going to go for a little bit of a sniff test over here on the A site.
It's the right call from Zen to make this rotation early. The Molotov misses its mark. It forces all of Detonate flying out of the apartments, and Deuce is able to capitalize on some of the confusion, but Karn rebounds as always. 2 kills to his name. Tatum able to put the cherry on top with the frag onto Zen. And the one round where it feels like Aura are making the right decision in terms of playing a little bit passive and being stagnant with the rotations is the round that Detonate just are able to hit the shots when they matter most. I mean, Shoes needs to find more than one coming out of balcony, but being put into that kind of position is definitely not an easy one. However, Detonate, plenty of money to work with as well. I mean, Dupe has $10,000, Karn almost at 11, the rest of the squad nearing that 6,000 to 8,000 mark, and Aura just broke as a joke at the current moment. So, like I said, if Aura aren't able to turn something around right here, right now, maybe not in this specific round, but in the next, then Detonate are just going to run away with this first half.
But this is a pendulum swinging around right now. Detonate, if they clean this one up where no one dies, maybe they lose one person, they use their utility perfect, I'm comfy to say Detonate's probably going to have an 8-4 half at minimum. But if they fumble and bumble around on this one and they let Aura slide forward as it's an eco round and the Detonate side's hungry, this could get pretty scary on the half. Now let's see what Hollow can do in alt mid with this P25-0 and some support from Apps.
Zen with a close angle. Kind of expected, though, if you're a terrorist trying to clear up towards Car. However, a lot of mid-control has been seized from Aura. Karn is just picking off one by one and still has to maintain residence, but Kuwos does find a kill onto Feral, so the numbers, although they don't feel even, have given the advantage to Aura, at least in terms of trying to recover the rifles. Kuwos will pick one up. Goose is just trying to be a distraction, a little bit of a thorn in the side of Karn, but Karn has to play super passive as to not give up another one.
Yeah, they could definitely hunt this down. They know the damage has come through. The P250 hit a couple of times, and well, now tucked in back A site. There's no way Shantae clears this, right? Oh my god, he does. No, he doesn't.
No, he
not
doesn't.
Diligent enough. Oh my god.
Wait.
Ships in the night.
Shantae just walked all the way past. The 4-3 resolution not working into Woz's favor, I guess. I mean, Woz now put on notice that there's a player towards lane, but he's already missed the timing, and Shanti's not going to have any idea that Woz is still here towards the A bomb site. So, at the very least, Aura will have an AK-47 recovered into the next. There's plenty of money to get Zen onto the AWP, but whether or not Zen's able to have the impact that you'd want is going to be the next question. I mean, Zen currently has that 6 and 7 scoreline, but it feels like a lot of the kills haven't come from the op.
No, not yet. Those were early doors fights that he was getting with that 3-0 start for Aura. And now, I don't want to say that that was a bad round from Detonate, because they won, of course, 3 survived, but that hunt got pretty scary. No one really clearing their corners, and that could have been 2 surviving for Aura as well. So great early fight from Detonate to play passive. Karn to survive as well, the guy I called out with that .70 record against Festina Lente, and he's now playing passive. I mean, this round he's not. He's working forward. He's got support from Feral. The first contact goes, no, not Margod's way. Zen pulls one back. Pinstripe strikes. And he's just going to smoke short side. He's got a second contact up in apps.
Yeah, Feral, although known about, still going a little bit unchecked by both lane players, but I like this play from Aura. They're trying to take the fight right back to Detonate, but that's exactly where Tatum resides. Juice now put in between the pincers of both Tatum and the long haul player, but Tatum will capitalize on the distraction. It's a free A bomb site for Detonate, and I mean, the contact that was being made towards Banana essentially cemented the fact that Aura didn't know where this hit was going to end because only 2 players had been showing from the side of Detonate, so a successful round from them. And, I mean, this has to be the momentum and the confidence that they want to come into the series with. And Henry Bat, I hate to say it, but I think that if Detonate are playing like this on Inferno, then Ancient might not be too big of an issue for them.
We're going to have to wait and see on that one. I want to focus in on Karn just a little bit right now. Next round, let's keep our eyes on the mini-map, and we'll watch Karn here, chat. His ability to take space in apps time and again has found success. Either pressing up, taking solo fights, getting fought back at, his survivability, his trades in apps. Absolute perfection from him. Whoever's making the calls over there at FC Detonator, giving him the freedom to make his own moves, or they're truly constricting him and telling him what to do on a micro level. So it's looking good. That first fight right there from Karn, clean as you like, and then the oscillation of the smoke there for Tatum to find himself 2. Easy does it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about in terms of Karn. The fact that Karn has been able to take that space and find frags relatively consistently, I mean, it's just put a level of paranoia into Aura's mind in terms of if they do find the rotation, will Detonate try to immediately rotate back off of the noise that Karn presumably has? Or do they just have to stand still? But that same precedent is going to be set here in round 10.
Yeah. Aura's back to that same scared setup that we were talking about. They win 3-0, they lose that Tech 9 round, and then they play not to lose. The Detonate understand that, they take advantage of it. This is the same sort of round. It's a doubled score line now as Detonate's posted 6 in a row, and they simply just waltz up Banana and take the space. A chunky nade onto Shantae towards CT spawn. Or onto Kawau's onto CT spawn is going to be the opening they need towards B site, and they just want to continue pressing the issue. Utility in, execute coming through. Aura, they need to stand tall right now.
And meanwhile, this B site is under siege. Karn still just acting like a thorn in the side towards the A bomb site. You can see how late the rotations are getting activated due to the few nades that he was able to dispose. And so all that Kiwoz can do is try and stop this plant, but as it goes down, Kiwoz will play around the edge of the smoke. It gets hard cleared by Chanti, so a beautiful play, but Zen and Shoost able to strike right back. It's dropped into the 3v3, and with the numbers even, Karn is pretty removed from this bomb site, and the smoke towards Banana doesn't help him in any favor.
It doesn't matter when Tatum is stapling them to the wall. The retake was there. The plan was on. Aura had a chance as they knew Karn was going to be a little bit late, but it doesn't matter. Like you said, that B bomb site, near impossible to retake unless your name is Falcons in a 5v3, but we won't go that far back in time, I don't think. 7-3. Detonate starting to step it up on the T side and marching quickly towards that 8-4 that I was looking for. Zen back on the big green, but he's supported by not much. Lack of helmets, lack of utility, lack of kits on the CT side, and they need a good early round plan to take these fights because this passive stance is not working for them.
Yeah, Detonate will be completely ready for this Bananas take.
Oh,
Was
so
spotted
annoying.
out on the smoke break, Dupe with a perfectly placed shot, and it feels like every time that Aura have displayed that bottom banana smoke, they've put someone close towards the broom, and that's been what's giving the opening to Detonate and that inclination that there's going to be someone close. Dante's quick on this space take and knows that Hollow's low HP, but as Feral finds that kill, that does kind of swing the door open towards the A bomb site ever so slightly, but Detonate, committing to their guns, are going to full execute onto the site. There's still that player in Hollow back towards New Box, but Detonate are completely aware of it. Hollow able to avert the gaze for a moment's notice and finds one, but Shanti strikes right back,
No way.
and Tatum leans up onto Shoost. Margot able to find the spot, but Karn will suffer his demise, and so the AK-47 is all that Margot can hope to take into the next round. And I'm going to nitpick Margot a little bit because two of his 3 frags are just now coming in round 11 on the CT side of Inferno. And
this guy's been playing his Karn every round. Do you give him a chance here, bro? He finally finds a timing onto Karn as Karn is disconnected from that execute, along with, I don't even know who that was who just died bottom mid, but Detonate just walk on a B with 3. So, yeah, Margot's getting kind of pooped on right now as Detonate get the 8th, but like, what are you going to do when Karn is playing the way he is, right? He's making apps his bitch almost, and there's nothing Margot can do.
But there has to be some sort of adjustment from Margot, because you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and then once it gets shut down, you get kind of scared and don't actually offer any fights. So whether that's, you know, Aura needing to throw that phase smoke to buy some space into mid so that he can actually go fighting into alt mid and try to prevent Karn from taking that space, then that's what needs to happen. But clearly Aura just not making the proper adjustments and still giving Detonate free reign all across the map, and it feels absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah, they're constricted. They can't do anything. The fight down towards Banana, every time they do it, it's just a pop of the smoke. Detonate's ready for it. Then they don't fight Banana. Detonate takes it for free. The apps push comes through. Karn's ready for it. They jiggle peek it, and Karn is already on their doorstep. There is no fight that Detonate's not ready for in the early doors. Those early fight protocols, those first lines of fight, Detonate winning hands down right now. And Aura, definitely on the back foot. They need a 4th right now, or I'm going to call this one done and dusted.
Yeah, and I almost am leaning towards the favor of saying it wouldn't be crazy to say that this one is done and dusted, but we still have a second half to be played, Henry Bat, and maybe Aura do have a trick up their sleeve. However, for the time being, Detonate have taken a lot of space towards brackets, and it's all been thanks to the fact that Aura are playing super passive. I mean,
they don't want to lose.
Library position, library, default, and balcony. And at what point is Aura actually going to go for a brackets retake and actually try and claim some of the space? I mean, you can see the paranoia that's being put into the mind of Shoes, trying to find the rotation back towards Arch, and does find the spot, but doesn't even commit to the gunfight. Is going to allow Feral to walk into the crosshair, successfully finds a frag, but that one is not going to dissuade.
Tatum has no armor. I'm just seeing this now. That was a headshot on the Feral that didn't have armor, it seems. What's happening?
There we go.
Trades back though. 2v3 going into this post plant. Time is ticking. Rotates her in. Shoost finds it, and well, Shantae disconnected. That should be a 4th for Aura right now as the time ticks away. And a nice stance there. Aura didn't really need to fight back into brackets. They understood exactly what was going on, and as Detonate, as probably thinking what you were saying, when is this refight going to happen? Because Aura are fighting constantly, looking for the aggression, looking for those mid-round fights, and it's just not going their way. And finally, as they just sit back on site, play it properly, Detonate get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, though, Henry Bat, we need to see some more going back to the drawing board if you're Aura on the T side of Inferno. It felt like that was, I mean, it didn't feel like, because it's true, it's the one rifle round that Aura won, and won by playing as passive as they did, because the space that you're giving Detonate up towards brackets, up towards car, is absolutely crucial into determining where the final site hit is going to come to fruition. And if Aura don't have that information, they're just playing a guessing game at that point and playing off of intuition. And that's the one round where it feels like they coin flipped and predicted the right head.
That's exactly it. That coin flip was not in their favor. All right, guys, heads, we stack A. Tails, we stack B. It's heads again. Well, they go B. Shit. 12 rounds deep, and they only get themselves 4 off the back of a pistol conversion and bonus. Detonate, well, 8 gun rounds in a row, finding them that 8-4 half. And as we have a tech issue to start this half, it's going to be delayed just slightly.
Yeah, and I think that the momentum and the confidence that Detonate have from that T side is going to translate with relative ease into the CT. I mean, if there's any space or any position that you want to be up in rounds on, it's going to be the CT side. But time and again, we do see CT side start to fumble the rounds in their entirety. So whether or not Detonate will come to the realization that there is a possibility that they're locked out of either of these sites, I'm not sure. But I definitely expect more aggression from Detonate than we saw from Aura.
Let's see Aura have a mid-round call here that's more than just straight push. Karn going to take first contact long side. He plays passive, gets into sight. Lets Feral take the pit fight towards long. And there's a mid-round call from Aura rotating towards the B site, and they're about to find relatively open Shantae and Tatum here stuck. waiting for this fight. The nade into spawn is clean. A good chunky boy, and the rotates are going to be a little bit late from Detonate. The fights have to be clean on the CT side. Hollow finds the first. Shantae pulls one back, but that's all he's got. 4v3 in the post.
Numbers being punched in. A minute turned into 40 seconds as Karn is slowly crawling up towards CT spawn, able to dodge the flashbang, but is still convinced there's a player tree. And after the contact is taken from backside, Woes will go hunting. Shoost able to shut down Dupe, and all it's going to be is Feral, but he's not going to have much of that cold blood in him. As round 5, the second pistol round for Aura is scooped up, but Henry Bat, I'm not going to be convinced until I see a rifle round 1 on the T side from Aura.
I'm taking a second here to write that line down that you just said. A minute turned into 40 seconds.
You don't have to gas me up like that, man.
I'm going to steal it. Don't think that I'm gassing you up, bro. I'm never going to give you credit for that. I'm just kidding. Every time there's a nade kill, I yell a big Blakert boom. I don't know if you know that. Just saying, bro.
I do.
Just saying.
I do.
I hope you do. I hope you do, man. Oh, a little Astralis stack here for Detonate. Let's see how Zen deals with this one. Mac-10 to lead the charge. Flash over. No, he finds the contact on the first. He's sniffing deep. Sees a second. Doesn't like the smell of that. Sees the third now, and he fumbles over his utility and gets himself out. The speed up for Aura towards A site should be on. But it is just poking and prodding. They should be clean for a 6th here. They should be.
Yeah, but Zen's walking into the Lion's Den. Doesn't even know it just yet. Still has some sort of inclination, but as he takes the fight, that's going to be the activation from the rest of Detonate. 2 kills with the Mac-10, though. Plenty of cash injected into the bank accounts. And a Mac-10 for Detonate to try and wrangle in some fashion.
Just go
on this
run it
retake.
down, boys.
If they... I mean, I don't even think they're actually going to put themselves into a position. I mean, the fact that the hunt is coming in from Hollow feels a little bit awkward, especially when you're going to lose a Mac-10 like that. But the rifle still maintaining Overwatch from brackets. Margod with the rotation into T-Apps, but Margod does collect Shanti's scalp. And Kawos will put the finishing touches onto Feral. It's a 6th round for Aura. Rifles should make their way in for Detonate.
Same start.
Yeah, the exact same start as we saw on the CT side from Aura. Pistol round 1, 2nd round, and then presumably this 3rd one, but that's
well, the round
Detonate
3 nades are what did the
something.
damage. Right, we have to see Aura use really good utility this round. If they can do 150 points of damage over 5 players with utility, we'll call it a 7th. But it's got to start right now. Dupe with the op, no armor, CT side. He's got $400. He's probably going to get a kit or a nade for himself, and it's a fast banana control. Kawauze moving quick, spots the FAMAS and CT spawn, and they want this space right away.
Yeah, and I feel a lot more comfortable with Adam and the rest of Detonate kind of forfeiting this space, considering that it's more so rifles against rifles than SMGs and Tech 9s versus rifles, but Feral goes swinging through the smoke a little bit irresponsibly and is only good for 1, so the map advantage is secured for Detonate, but they're not counting themselves out just yet. You see Dupe starting to creep back into CT spawn, but if Shanti finds 1 here, this retake is on, but he's immediately clipped by the bullet of Zen. Aren't able to find a refrag, but the retreat should come in, unless Detonate are feeling explosive, but the save call does come to fruition. Arn and Dupe trying to hold on to their investments, and rightfully so, because Dupe, if he goes down with that AWP, it's an investment that sets Detonate back tenfold, and he doesn't have armor to work with, so it would be an easier time for Aura to actually find that kill. Kawos is going to be the only one to fall late in the post plant.
3 in a row.
So, yeah, Aura do find that 3rd that they did find on the CT side. I will need to see how this next round plays out. I mean, who knows? Maybe we're staring at a tied game, but Aura saying that they can't be counted out just yet. Are 1 round from tying us up at 8-all. But in round 16, it's going to be a scrappy buy from Detonate. Whether or not they decide to buy around the AWP and the M4 becomes my question. You can see Shanti picking up the M4A4, but what will the rest of the squad pick up?
They should. Lost bonus $3,400. 2 surviving. Yeah, 2 don't buy for 3. 3 buys for 2, but they do it anyways. Tatum with the Gator. MP9 for Feral and a good helping of utility. We need to see this lower banana smoke come through for Detonate, and Aura either respect it or they're afraid of it. They're going to try to do what Detonate did, a pop of the smoke for this lower banana fight, but no one's going to be home. Detonate passive right now as they need to get this op of Dupe engaged. He is just sitting on the quad side waiting for that lower mid smoke to fade, and he's got Feral with him. Crossfire.
Yeah, look how far forward Detonator playing towards brackets in comparison to how Aura were. Aura had a setup where they had one player balcony, they had one library, and then they had one just kind of meandering around the site. So if there's going to be any information gained on this A bomb site, it's going to be as a result of the posture they've currently taken. However, Aura are looking to go two-man fighting into Banana and Car, but with Tatum close by with that XM, it feels like it's kind of impending doom.
They need a flash. Schutz needs to come Banana and flash them on this corner. No, he wastes it towards mid. No one's home. Doesn't waste it. He uses it to take space for sure. Nice shot from Duke to pull one back. That's Hollow going hunting for humans. Trades towards Banana are effective, and that auto shotgun chews. Aura had a chance, but they split their attack and get caught with their pants down. Schutz 1v4 finds the first, disconnected from, and he's still going to go towards the A site.
Yeah, flashbang over the top. Counter flash comes in. And Arn is just trying to play the decoy as Dupe puts the cherry on top. And it was a beautiful bait and switch towards half wall is what I want to touch on in that specific round. Is the walk-in from Chanti, although he does not find anything, promotes Aura to just completely walk in. And they don't expect Tatum to be close by with that XM. I don't think they expect him to have an XM in general, but for him to be that close by, especially when Chanti is just walking in unattended, why would there be another player there?
Those are hard shots to hit with that XM as well. Everyone thinks it's easy. That's a body shotgun. You don't shoot for the head with that thing, so only one pellet will connect at a time. But in the body, you can hit 3 or 4 and put the people down, and that's exactly what he did. Look at the purchase for Aura coming back, lacking utility. They're taking chunky nades in towards mid. Dupe still pulls the trigger with that 308, but shoots in the dirt. Next up on this long side, he's got more to fight for. And he's just playing anti-flash for the time being. Or take the space.
Beautiful positioning.
Nothing else.
Beautiful. Karn going to take the next contact. Flashbang over the top does allow Karn to go for the reposition, but Karn's looking for the fight through the corner of the wall. Will not find anything. Farrell's going to be the one to strike towards Archers instead, and Dupe's already repositioned back towards the site, so actually, never mind. Dupe's been taken out of the round. It won't even matter. Karn and Tatum are going to be the ones to hold the line in the first place, and the AWP, I'm not sure if it's necessary considering there's money there, but the AK-47 is going to be a little bit of an afterthought as Dupe does get that op back in hand. But what I was touching on, Henry Bat, is Dupe with the positioning of that op, taking that fight towards brackets, and then immediately repositioning towards Moto is exactly what you want to see out of your opper. And there's a reason we were so keen on to Dupe coming into this.
That's exactly it. 2 stack towards B for Detonate this time. They are not really deploying too much utility, just a block molly. And a little bit of a poke from Shantae. It's Aura playing a little bit of a French timeout, waiting for anything to be found, and they're not going to really be getting too much. Detonate do take the space towards Banana. The AKs ring out, kind of a warning sign to say, hey, don't come here, because we're going to chew you up quite quick if you do, but they think they want to anyways. Aura, flash and go up towards Banana.
Oh, beautiful counter flash. Shanti swings around the corner, able to wrangle that spray and finds 4 kills. It's Tatum to steal the ace away, but nonetheless, a beautiful display of spray control.
Ah! 1 star. Flash the corner, buddy. Ah! We just run it down. That was a crazy spray shot. I just had 4, bro, and that's not easy. Again, that's not easy. I know all those rank 10 pug stars in our chat right now going, I can do that, I can do that. No, you can't. You really can't. That is a very hard transition to smash 4 with 1 mag of the AK, half a blind with your teammate behind you. That is not an easy transition, and Detonate look to smash the door closed here towards Banana, but it's a double back as Aura find an opening quite quickly, and they accelerate onto B site.
Yeah, and plenty of space has been taken already. You can see that the rotations from Detonate are starting to get delayed. I feel like Farrell's just going to go poking and prodding to see if this retake is even viable. But in my opinion, I want to see Detonate go for this. They have plenty of money to work with in the next. The op, sure, is the only investment that really is wanting to be taken into the next round.
Oh, okay,
and
there we go.
Karn finds the boom onto Schutz. So with the smoke being deployed for Banana, that gives an opening through the CT spawn, and there's not another smoke to kind of replenish. And so Detonate do have a free opening into this bomb site. Flashbang over the top. Karn's going to be the one to spearhead this take, but Farrell is going to be the one to try and pull the bait and switch.
Oh
Zen is still close by towards Grill, and Farrell and Karn single-handedly demolish the post plant that Aura had set up.
What a call. What a call to go for that. The bomb is planted, and I'm pretty sure that's Karn at top mid boiler still clearing apps. You're like, I want to see them go for this. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, why not? Why not just go for it? They work their way back. A big Blakert boom to the back of sight. The smoke to block. The molly to flush forward and detonate with a quick plan. Find it. They retake that fortress of B site to post a 12th. And now 5 chances to close out their map pick of Inferno and go up 1-0 in the series against Aura.
Yeah, and this feels like their best chance to close it out here. I mean, Aura don't have any utility to work with, so they're going to have to be very precise with where they actually want to position it. Dupe opens up round 20 with a great frag on a Kawoz. But Shanti spotted the head of Zen. The boost not coming to fruition, and if Zen tries it again, he is going to be sent all the way into the nether realm. A funky nade. Zen hops onto the head. Shanti's completely ready for the swing, and Shanti takes 2 scalps with him. Tatum's going to be pop flashed around the half wall, and all Shoes can do is try and spray through this smoke. I mean, what more could you ask for if you're Detonate CT side? It's constant pressure from the op of Dupe down mid that forces Aura into the banana take, where both Shanti and Tatum are making it look effortless.
Just a formality now. Hollow takes a faux dink in apps. But information on at least one, and I'm pretty sure they know where Shoes has rotated off to as the banana aggression starts to come through for Detonate. They've closed all gaps, and this should be 13 posted on the board. Oh, unlikely missed shot from Dupe, but he survives, gets on site. Farrell finds a quick frag, and the final one to come through. It's a chunky big Blakert boom onto Hollow's toes, down to 39. He swings for the fight. It's just a Galil. And the wrap comes through from short side, but he finds himself a double. Escapes into boiler time to play, and they're giving him ones. He's looking for the first frag, but can't find it. He gets shut down by Shantae, 13-7. Detonate smack Aura quite quickly in a little bit more convincing fashion than I thought. I thought it was going to be a 13-9, 13-10. But a 13-7, looking pretty good. Detonate, work on those pistols.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on how the setups from Aura on the CT side were relatively solidifying in terms of how Detonate were going to approach. And the fact that they were playing very passive on the A bomb site allowed Detonate to take space towards B and then immediately wrap back towards A, or vice versa, because we talked about how Karn was single-handedly holding the rotations in place. And that's not what you can have if you're the side of Aura. It was an absolute masterclass on the T side, which propelled them into an even better CT side.
Yep, 100%. If it wasn't for the pistol conversion and bonus round on both sides, that's not as close of a map as we thought. So, yeah, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be map 2, and we're going to see if this can be closed out on Ancient 2-0 by FC Detonate. Go get some popcorn, chat. We'll be right back.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
Yeah, it's greener on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that you'll never find. Yeah, another life, you gon' want another try, something like the other night, looking for another high. Yeah, expensive taste like a movie. Eyes only looking for the beauty. They don't wanna go if they know me. Maybe missing out an opportunity. Need a Uber X, to pick you up on the way. Oh, insecurities gon' make it hard for you to lay low. Switch yourself for someone else who do it if they say so. Acting like you haven't seen you rolling with the halo. Yeah, it said it's not on me. I know what I want, I'm just waiting for my calling. Yeah, you got a longing to make it with somebody, but lately you been stalling. Oh, lately you been stalling. Yeah, it's greener on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that you'll never find. Yeah, another life, you gon' want another try, something like the other night, looking for another high. Yeah, expensive taste like a movie. Eyes only looking for the beauty. They don't wanna go if they know me. Maybe missing out an opportunity. Yeah, the right one. Waiting for the right one. But you won't ever find one. Cause you're looking at the wrong ones. Passed up on the one that give you everything. Passed on the one that give you everything you need. Passed up cause you didn't see it on the screen, on the TV. Yeah, it's green on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a what I would say is a disappointing display from Aura on Inferno, we've been taken to map number 2, which is the map pick of Aura, so hopefully they're able to find some better results. Henry Bat, before we get into this, I want to give a big shout out to SCL, one of the sponsors that helped put on Crossfire Season 5. And SCL has been a great tool for me, not just within Crossfire, but within my own endeavors. I utilize Crossfire to really do some in-depth analytics on certain teams, whether that's the 2D demo reviewer to be able to see what habits teams have, or if I'm looking for specific plays from certain players. And to touch on specific plays on Inferno, it was all Arn just creating distractions on the A-bomb site for Detonate to really capitalize on. But heading into Ancient, this is going to be the best opportunity for Aura to really throw a wrench into the game plan in my eyes.
They got that T-side start, and they need to be ape strong about this one. They need to just straight sprint it as a team here. That's something we were talking about in the green room there. Aura's ability to play those opening fights on Inferno were okay. They weren't very team-centric, and Detonate was able to bounce back off of it. So I'm liking this. A great B hit with perfect utility set by Aura, and they're pressing the issue up the long side, but it's Tatum to find the first. Karn collects a second through the edge of the smoke, and it's just a shutdown on the site. Bomb can't even go down as it tries to cross. It starts getting tapped in, but Karn gets himself a second. Schust pulls one back, but he's alone on site and overwhelmed. Detonate, collect a pistol. Now, chat, like what you've seen, Crossfire is powered by myhud. myhud is the ultimate customizable HUD for Counter-Strike 2. It's perfect for casters, streamers, and fans alike. Choose your layout, tweak some colors, add sponsors on screen, and get a full mini-map overview. Level up your streams with the new Smart Observer at myhud.app.
Yeah, and a little bit of touch of information for you. We've been using the Smart Observer in this matchup, so everything that you've been seeing is all thanks to myhud. And I've got to be honest, when production told me that we were using the Smart Observer, I was kind of at a loss for words, because I didn't think it would... You know, you hear about AI observers and different observer features that different companies are coming out with, and I was a little bit doubtful at first, but I'm quite honestly surprised.
It's looking nice. It is looking nice. Tatum trying to get hungry with that gator again as he sits in cave, tries to block it with a smoke and the shotgun. This other B-centric slide onto site. Karn again, a heavy hitter from the pistol, can't get anything done. Zen shuts him down. The auto shotgun's going to try to eat in cave quickly, but the bomb goes down. 5v4 in the post. Caught. Nothing heard. Save territory for Detonate right now.
I feel like they're a little bit too committed. Shanti already finding one onto Zen. Schust going to find the trade right back onto Dupe, and like I talked about, it feels a little bit too late to call that save call, but now it will come to fruition as Feral is going to try and take this FAMAS into the next, but Woz is on the hunt with that XM, rather, and does get sat down swiftly. It's Feral in the 1v3, like we talked about, the save call coming to fruition. M4 is going to be recovered, so a little bit of an upgrade. And considering that Feral has plenty of utility, plenty of armor, I really think this is a successful save. And Aura will be able to turn the donut into the breadstick sooner rather than later, which is exactly what we want to see. And I liked the timing that they tried to take up ramp, where they were able to catch the site player off guard with utility in hand. And the kind of division of attention that Tatum had to try and do in cave has ended up being his demise. So, solid round from Aura. Will they be able to convert it into more? Hopefully, yes, because on paper, this should be a relatively easy round from Aura, considering they're up against upgraded pistols and MP9 and the M4 that was saved from Feral. And I have a strong suspicion that Feral is going to prioritize taking that rifle into the next.
Let's guard the president right now, and he has some support in mid. MP9 in Tatum's hands. The force bite does come through, and this might be one of those rounds where Detonate doesn't even go for the retake. They just let Aura have it. They just save everything for the next round, bolster their chances, and let Aura go up to 2. But Aura might gift them a few guns here towards mid. Caught out quick is Feral. Tapped away. MP9 can't strike from lower mid. The distance, not great. The MP9 does pack a punch, but from that distance, not much fun. Hollow finds his own, and well, no save to come through for Detonate. They're just going to get caught off and collected quickly. Aura to post a second.
Yeah, the looming threat still lingers towards mid. You'll be able to recover the M4, a fake flash into Donut to make Aura think that this retake is on. Aura are already going hunting for their escape route. Have successfully picked the location where no Detonate members will reside. As we mentioned, a relatively free site take from the side of Aura. Rifle is going to be recovered, a secondary one, although it's a Galil, still less of an investment that Detonate will have to make in this next round. And considering they don't have a lot of money, it's a good call from them. Recover the armor, recover some of the utility, and the 2 rifles, although, like we talked about, one of them is a little bit subpar.
I thought Hollow was going to drop an op there. He had 6K and a little bit of patience in the purchase. But Aura are happy with the AKs across the board. 1 M4 for Schust, and tons of utility. They're just going to run this one a little bit of a default here, see what Detonate gives them early, as they have to come through with the save, air quotation save, the 2 rifles and pistol from the round prior, and then it's just a USP for Feral and Tatum. Should be a clean hold here from Hollow, but if he gets caught, that's the bomb disconnected from the Aura side.
It already kind of is. That it's thought about being picked up. He was able to convert a kill down ramp. That's just another player with a knife or utility out, but Dante is able to make the Dupe, is able to make a great escape.
If Shantae can get over to the
just
A
trying
site,
to-
they might be bolstered enough to hold this down, but it's just Tatum and Feral for now.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, if you're Detonate in this round, you just kind of are playing where you are, and if Aura go into the site where the rifles are not, then it's kind of a free gamble, but take a look at Feral. Has gone completely unchecked, will slowly avert the gaze, and does find the bomb planter, so that plant is delayed ever so slightly, but I still don't think that's going to be enough to convince Detonate that they need to full commit to this retake.
No way. Nope, they're out. They're gone. See you later, alligator. Tatum could play close to the cuff here with that USP is. He's got to get pretty far away from that bomb with only 5 HP. There's going to be no real... I think there might be a gun for him to recover out towards cave side. MP9 maybe? I can't remember who died over there. I think it was Karn. Let's see what he picks up. No, it's 5-7.
5-7.
Yeah. make this
Glow's
too
a little bit
expensive.
asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, don't make this too expensive, or two surviving will
Comes
be
on the
good for
prowl
Detonate.
towards shelf. Ooh,
Even better.
Dante able to find another onto Margot as well. A little bit of an expensive hunt from Aura, but plenty of money will mean they will be able to buy right back. However, Detonate's still a little bit in the back seat. Karn doesn't have the best of facilities to try and full buy all the way in. You can see the MP7 makes its way into the server. Tatum does have that FAMAS, so a rifle at the least, but not the rifle of choice. And surprisingly to me is that Dupe still doesn't have an op. There hasn't been a real priority to try and bolster that economy and get that cash injection that is needed to purchase the sniper rifle.
Oh, straight back up to B they go. The MP7 of Karn finds nada. Shantae with that saved Galil for 2 rounds finds himself a double. Tatum does do the damage from across catwalk, and this hit Stunted onto the B site. The bomb goes down, but the retake is here. Swift and quick. 3-pronged retake. 2 through cave, 1 from CT, and it's Feral to take first contact towards ramp side.
Ben's playing a dangerous game, though. It feels like Shanti's position is completely unknown, and Feral will capitalize. Knows there's a player tucked into the Ninja Cubby, but it will not be for anything. As Detonate, the patience game that we talked about they have within them to really pull off that retake. I mean, the fact that Feral is able to walk up ramp and just find an unsuspecting Zen and that it wasn't accounted for feels a little bit bewildering, but nonetheless, it's only round 6. Aura, I think, are still in the driver's seat, but there is that coveted AWP that I was talking about Dupe needs to get into his hands.
Ooh, I wonder where he's going to go. It looks like he has a little bit of an eccentric lean going here. Maybe he walks for that contact in main. That'd be kind of a tricky little situation for him there, as Aura are leaning that direction right now. Seems the mini-map might not lie to us. He just posts on A main. It is heavy utility towards mid, and this is something I've been seeing lately, especially in my pugs. Lower mid smokes aren't really tossed. The mollies through red room slow down the push of the T side, and the later smoke gives you 10, maybe 15 seconds more of mid control. Shantae off the back of a team flash helps Kwauze hit the dirt. 5v4 with 1:20 on the clock.
We're not being quiet whatsoever towards mid either. Feral is hearing all of this.
Ooh. That's
Bait
2
and switch
missed
from
red
Tatum
room
and
smokes.
Feral. Was it missed or?
Yeah, the first one
Yeah, I
had a
guess.
gap on it. The second one has a nice gap on it too that can be exploited, or is just not there. You can see Duke moving up on it. Karn's going to find a contact here. Cave to come through as well. Shantae, don't dig too deep on this. He's primed and ready to smash his end as he slides onto site.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's effortless. It's effortless from Detonate, this B-bomb site hold. The Molotov is a little bit too short, but Shantae will suffer the same fate as his accomplice, and Margod is able to convert his kill. The spams come through the wood wall, but they don't find a home, and Tatum puts the cherry on top. It's an effortless B-bomb site defense to really enable that retake.
Save the AK, Feral. Save the AK. You don't need the op in the next. You know they're on a shitty buy.
I like this. I like the op being saved into the next because I mean we were crucial on Dupe coming into this matchup, and I think if there is going to be any opportunity for Dupe to get activated, it's going to be with that op. I mean Dupe's not known as a rifle player in any particular way.
He's their star player,
think,
and he uses the op. He gets the opportunity to take the fights where he wants. The IGL allows him to do it, so it is a great call for them to keep it. But I don't want to see him get overrun by Tech 9s, because that would be a fate worse than death for an opper. Hey, save me that op instead of getting an AK-47. And then if there was a helmet, for example, if Schust or Margot take a dink and they're able to win the fight, that saved AK in maybe one of the hands of Shantae or Feral. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. Aura don't look like they're in the driver's seat anymore. Detonate about to take the lead 4-3. We'll call it before the round even starts.
Yeah, and I think that if Dupe continues to posture towards this A bomb site, you should know that the economy isn't going to be there, and shouldn't, emphasis on shouldn't, go hunting into A main, but contrary to popular belief, that's exactly what he's going to do. The immediate push towards B is stunted, as we're a face full of utility. A chunky nade drops down, but we're just going to put the pedal to the metal. Karn awaits backside with that AUG, playing a little bit of COD, and has plenty of support to back it up. It's Shantae put the finishing touches due to his name, and Karn just kind of had to go back and forth.
Playing COD, he's just swinging and spraying. And it's a good call, don't get me wrong. It's an AUG. It could land a couple of shots, and it did. It just baits the crosshairs of the Aura Tech 9 sliding up ramp, and they get caught. A flawless round posted as Detonate get a 4th. And without that bomb plant, without the kills, Aura, well, they're seconded to a little bit of a lackluster purchase here. Yeah, they got AKs, they got helmets. But without the extra utility, without the mollies, they're not going to be able to clear these corners. And the pressure forward already started from Feral.
A beautifully timed smoke. Feral able to tuck in the corner, activates off the back of the contact from Tatum, and feels like he wants to go hunting even further, but the leash has been put on the wild beast. And Feral will just tuck in the corner and wait for any contact up shelf, but there will be absolutely none. Kawoz and Hollow just kind of grasping at straws as to where this round can go from here. And with 1 minute and 18 seconds left, they have plenty of time, but still have to play their cards right. This mid defense is still established, and as soon as Tatum is taking contact, that should be the frags, but I say should, as Kiwoz finds 2 kills. Hollow able to convert a 3rd, And now Dupe and Chanti are put into a pickle. They have to try and regroup together and really play off of each other. But you can already see Chanti's trying to get ahead of the curve, trying to meet Aura exactly where they want to go. And this positioning from Chanti might be the undoing.
He can't overextend on this, though. He has to take his first fight cleanly, and the elevated angle might give him a little bit of an advantage here. Surprise, surprise, a double. Now, Detonate. Mid-utility. They molly elbow twice and then they smoke it. They don't even try to reestablish that smoke. They just aim, train, and they all lose. They could have re-smoked that. They could have mollied it. They had the utility to do it, but they didn't. And Aura almost pulled that one back. It becomes expensive for Detonate as they start to eat into their bank accounts. And then I really look down and I see Dupe, which I thought he had 1350. He has 10,350. So maybe not so much. Aura back to the Deagles and the drawing board on the T side. There's that early molly-nade combo from Detonate. And the late mid-smoke to come through. Devastating. A minute 40 it hits instead of a minute 50. That's crazy. That's a great play from Detonate, changing up the default meta here on CT side Ancient.
Yeah, look at the space they're taking towards bottom B, so they have every inclination that this hit's going to come either towards mid or towards A, and as Chanti is able to convert a kill on the hollow, it's going to be Feral next in line, but that wild beast is going to be snuffed out and put down as Shoost hits a sleeper of a deagle shot and now puts Tatum under pressure. Dupe is playing a combat op into cave, so he's sure to back up, and that gives plenty of room for Shoost to walk his way back into the B bomb site. But he's electing for the mid play, which on paper feels like the smart move, but not when Dupe is just waiting in the wings to try and activate.
Let's see the patience here from
Shoost,
Detonate.
I mean, but Shoost also knows that Dupe might try to go and reconvene with his teammate on the A bomb site, but Shoost is going to try and take the timing. Dupe posted on the angle, will have the advantage. And Dupe quells what was once a scary round for Detonate as they pick up 6. And that money advantage that Detonate have drawn even further.
Just a moment of silence there for the two Detonate players that got absolutely destroyed by Shoost's Deagle. That's a confidence round for the T-side player of Aura. And one that he's going to need to reminisce upon moving forward. Knowing that he can shoot, knowing that he can keep up. It comes down to the individuals now, and Aura, they need to step up or they're going to get locked in quite quickly. Opening does go Zen's way onto Dupe, and that's a huge frag to find. Klaus does collect Karn, and Shantae pulls it back. Block smoke comes through, and it's a re-established space control for Aura up onto the B site, but the gap closes quickly. As Feral's mantle up off of his default utility finds a clean kill, and Shantae says nay nay to that B site take.
All goes silent across the map. We're now trying to take space up towards ramp, but that is exactly where Detonator waiting for. Adam tucked into V1 will have to be hard cleared, but the op scope of Zen goes unchecked, and a beautiful display of trigger discipline as Tatum seals the deal. A 7th round for Detonate, and although Aura find themselves in advantages, it feels like they're throwing them out the window, and I'm not sure if there's a case of the IGL, and I'm pretty sure it's Zen, but overthinking or whatever the case may be, but something is clearly not working out for the Aura roster. An attack timeout is called off the back of it. Maybe a set play is what's to come. Maybe a change in how they're trying to default on the T side. But it feels like Aura are just going in set play by set play by set play. They're not really trying to collect how Detonate are playing the CT side and make reactions based off of that. And I think that's something that Detonate do really well, is allowing the game to come to them rather than trying to take their own game plan and enforce it onto how the opponents are playing.
That was sort of the point that I was going to lean into there about what you kind of just said. The individuals from Aura, they're trying to force the fights. They find the first one and they're hungry for the second. Instead of taking that first fight on ramp and patiently waiting, individuals just start sliding into contact and getting caught out. And when you're trying to fight against Detonate, all 5 players are top 500 in North America right now. You're going to get kind of run over. These guys know exactly what to do and how to shoot. With a good game plan behind it, trades effective. Aura have no say in this one. Karn collects his free kill towards ramp off the back of the pressure that really hasn't come through quite often. So Hollow, not having a great time, 2-10.
Sure where the intended trajectory of that flashbang towards Donut was, but Dupe isn't able to find 2 kills and almost finds a 3rd, but a wild flick will... Oh! What?
That was a wild flick. That was
Speaking of a
wild.
wild flick from Dupe, but yeah, holy. An absolute slammer from Kawos, but it's all for naught. I mean,
Ninth live
Detonate
at the raid.
still lingering with that 8th round. And I hate to say that we called this one, Henry Bat, but it definitely feels like we did. I mean,
Yeah, the writing was on the
Detonate
wall.
Clearly,
The writing was on the wall. A 7-7 Aura with roster changes versus a freshly crowned advanced team. Detonate going 4-1 in main. The writing's on the wall, right? It's Crossfire. It's an off-season tournament. It's a chance for both these teams to grow and Detonate. They're just solidifying their place right now, and they're taking advantage of Aura in every way possible. They're already ready for this B-side hit with the 3-stack. They don't care about Cave. They're going to fight forward on this ramp hit. Hollow finds the first. Karn pulls one back, but they don't check the close corner. It's Shantae to play that tethered push and pull off of his teammate towards the long side, and they continue to dance on B-site and hold a great stance forward as they close it out on a 9th. 9-3. Better than Inferno.
Yeah, and I kind of want to piggyback off of what I was saying in terms of Aura just playing it set play after set play after set play. It almost feels like Aura are playing this matchup like a scrim, as much as I hate to say that. But now they'll have an opportunity to kind of try and turn this around. However, I think it's the inexperience of all 5 of these individuals playing together really coming to light. And as you kind of touched on, I believe in the break that Detonate are a roster that are very formidable. I mean, and have been playing together for a while. Just qualified for Advanced. I mean, Tatum even has experience playing on Fisher College, which is one of the premier collegiate esports teams. And Detonate are going to look to try and bust into this B bomb site. Zen able to shut the first down with the dual Berettas, but Karn finds 2 shots, doesn't need 2 pistols. And the A bomb site, I mean, completely secured. It feels like this retake has to happen now, and the timing is right from the side of Aura, but they're being shut down right where they stand. It's Kawos in the 1v3, but all of the insurance policies have been put in place, and there's surely no way that Detonate lose this unless they find the individual fights or give them up at that matter. And Shanti eats a gush, but Kawos has the kit, is going to try and stick this through and through, but Tatum knows how to jiggle the bomb diffuser. And Detonate the first to double digits on Ancient and Inferno, mind you, but still running away with this one. I mean, it feels like they've been in the driver's seat for a majority of this map too, and now they're starting to stuff Aura into the trunk.
Let's shop talk this. What's Aura got to do? Force buy back, good start. They need mid control. They need to fight forward on Cat. Something we talked about on Inferno was the fact that they were playing not to lose. Right now, they're doing the same thing, right? That T side very haphazardly just straight executes like they're trying to get a practice in, like they're trying to scrim against Detonate, and it didn't work. Now as it looks like they try to fight forward, it's Detonate to accelerate over towards the A site, and the space is already taken. Look at Farrell, he's in CT spawn. He's going to catch the rotated hollow off, and this is going to force a fight forward onto the ramp side. Shoes doesn't even stay. The rotate leaves B already, and it's a compromised A site. B free for the taking, but Detonate can just close that gap.
It is absolutely beautiful from Detonate. The fake utility, the frags that are able to transpire on that A bomb site completely secure the fact that Aura feel comfortable in this rotation, but it's not where they actually want to go. Oh my, there's no way. Why is Zen holding the trigger of the 5-7? There's clearly nobody coming out at the A bomb site. And with the numbers punched in, Tatum's found 3 kills and knows where Shoost is, but will not be able to convert the spray. It's going to be Chanti instead to put a convincing 11th round on the board.
And now all Detonate has to do is realize what they're playing up against. The same purchase that they just fought against, but add $500, right? It's got to be the force buy after force buy after force buy for Aura to try to dig themselves out of this hole, but they are digging up. And it's very hard to dig up if you've ever been in a big hole. Let me tell you, because you can't do it. Detonate 2 away from closing this series out 2-0 and sending Aura to that 0-2 bin in Group F, and we know what that means. No playoffs. That'll be the 3rd season in a row for Aura not making playoffs here at Crossfire. They're saving. They're letting Detonate get to 12.
I'm still a little bit bewildered as to how we're trying to play the CT side. I mean, we talked about how the mid fight is absolutely necessary on the CT side of Ancient, and Detonate were able to perform that with effortless execution. Yeah, and the fact that Aura aren't even batting an eye and just kind of giving up all of this space and, like you said, playing not to lose. it's starting to show, and it's starting to really come to bite them in the behind. I mean,
Next
look at
round
the
will be
amount of
first time they
space
have
that...
rifles and utility. That's when they'll be able to actually try, but if they don't, then you've hit the nail on the head, and it'll be done. Then they will be able to post 13.
Yeah, but with how Inferno went, I don't necessarily see that changing. That's what I'm kind of getting at here, is I'm not convinced. And I think that Detonate aren't convinced either, and Detonate absolutely know the fact that Aura are just going to kind of play not to lose. I mean, Shanti's able to find the lurk. That already has put a level of paranoia into the mind of these CT players on Aura, and it just feels like it's slowly been a downward trajectory for this Aura roster.
AI prediction at the top of the screen. 20% chance. Shante finds himself a 3-piece in the round. And, well, nothing heard. 12 on the board. Final purchase come through for Aura, and maybe their last chance here as Detonate dominate that CT side and T side alike. And it comes down to this. One final round. Can they finish it off, or can Zen find some sort of happiness behind that op?
But it needs to be through the mid-fight. I mean, although I think as an Opera on Ancient, you'd love to just kind of sit in Temple or even peer into A main, you need to offer support towards one of your weaker extremities, and that's going to be either mid or the B bomb site. You can see that already Margot has been tagged down to 7 HP. Karn's caught out with a nade, and Margot does find 2 conversions, so this round is the best opportunity that Aura have had at a CT-sided round, and Hollow cements the fact. So, bearing some sort of miracle or ginormous misplay from Tatum and Feral, or from the side of Aura, rather, Tatum and Feral have what feels like an unwinnable task, and the money, although it's staggered across the side of Detonate, they should be able to pull off a buy on the next, so Aura will need to look to replicate this exact kind of play.
Well, I mean, I added the numbers here, and it's 33 kills across the board for Aura and 27 for Tatum and Feral. This is completely within their wheelhouse for a 2v5, and they've isolated fights. Never mind. It's just a 1-for-1. Okay, Feral makes this a little bit interesting. But no, it is that 4th. Aura found it. 3 survived. They're going to be able to get some AKs moving forward as well. And Detonate to come back with the purchase. And they'll have pretty much everything that they'll want. I'm guessing Dupe might want to get the op gifted to him. Maybe. Shante can drop it if he tried hard enough.
Nah, I don't see a world where Dupe picks up the T-sided op. Not on Ancient. It feels a little bit too uncomfortable. I feel like Dupe is not necessarily a combat opper, but more so a supportive opper.
But he goes
and the
to a
fact that he's
Galil?
able to hold down... I mean, I'd rather the Galil than trying to see Dupe actually go for aggressive op
But he
plays.
had an AK.
I'm gonna be honest.
Alright. Detonate working through their default here, taking the space, and it's passive again from Aura. Well, I can't say again. They fought through mid last round. They've changed it up a little bit. They're giving the space over. They don't want to press the issue too aggressively. They go from that, hey, we've won a round, let's play to not lose style, and Detonate take as much space as they want as a minute 15 strikes the clock.
Yeah, no information is being collected from Aura either. They're only playing off of sound cues. Zen's going to be forced off of the angle, trying to offer support towards mid, or maybe even some sort of facade that Aura are trying to retake the control. But Zen has to hit this shot here. This is where your round is essentially decided, but Feral I don't think is going to activate whatsoever, not until these rotations happen. Feral's toes are tickled by the Molotov, but also look at the side of Detonate. They've already postured around this B-bomb site. All of this utility towards mid, all of this pressure has been a great fake. And so Detonate are trying to pull off amazing heist to seal the deal in 2-0 fashion. They're starting to regroup into cave. Adam's going to be offered up first on the chopping block. Considering he has the AK-47, I honestly like the play. The smoke comes in towards V2. Olo is completely caught off guard, and Tatum finds a great shot. The long smoke, as you mentioned, has been missed, and that gives Kawoz the thought that he can go fighting into it. But Detonate are all too keen to the fact that Aura are going to try and take the fight. Then finds the first conversion for Aura on round 17, but the pop flash is perfect, and Tatum, Karn, and Dupe. 3 kills, 3 names, and Detonate put it away in 2-0 fashion.
Listen, I'm just happy that Karn stepped up on both maps, right? 13 and 7 to finish the map off. a 13-4 score, 13-7 kills or 13-9 kills deaths. So a great step up from Detonate to go 1-1 in Group F. Aura unfortunately go 0-2. And although they had a great start on both CT and T sides of Inferno, it wasn't enough. It was the rifle rounds of Detonate to do the damage, that push and pull in the mid round, as you so aptly mentioned. And then once we get on to Ancient, it was slow to start. Detonate was able to push and pull as they wished, and their execute's a little bit cleaner. And to find times like they did, like second round on their T side, where it's just a straight Shantae sprint through A site, like how do you predict that? How do you slow that down? You can't. Detonate smashed their way to that 1-1 bracket.
You know, Henry Bad, I think you can't necessarily predict it, but you can expect it to a level in terms of the fact that with the amount of confidence that Detonate came into map number 2 with, I mean, you have to expect at some point that they're just going to go swinging and holding W against you. I mean, sure, we didn't see a lot of that in Ancient, but still, I think Inferno definitely needs to get sent back to the drawing board for Aura, and this has to be a disappointing result for this lineup. I mean, we talked about how it's a newly formed rendition of Aura going against the well-tenured, you know, roster of Detonate, but still, I think that if you're going to come into this and try to make this a baseline game, you are playing your lowest of lows.
Oh, they have one more game here in Crossfire Season 5. Although they won't be making playoffs, the Aura side, as they've gone 0-2, they get another chance to get another rep, get another VOD, and then they'll have time between the end of this season and Season 59, 58, 59, 58,
58.
Of ESEA to cross those T's and dot those I's, and I don't doubt that they will. It's an awesome organization behind them. They've been at Crossfire for 4 seasons straight, which means there's some money flow in the background, which means there's someone paying attention, someone doing something, and they do want to win just like the rest of us, right? So I expect to see an upgraded Aura for Crossfire Season 6 and for Season 58 to face it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Aura roster definitely has a long way to come, but I don't think it's out of the reach, especially when you have Zen heading the helm. So
yeah.
Aura, like you mentioned, will be thrown out of playoff contention. However, Detonate still continuing this hot streak that they've been on, regardless of its Crossfire, regardless if it's ESEA or even the Nostalgia League. But congratulations to them, because this win looked absolutely convincing to me, Henry Bat.
100%. Now, Aura has to take on Festina Lente coming up in a couple of days, I think, and then it's Beyond Limits to take on FC Detonate. And again, it has to be the decider match. Realistically, there's probably gonna be 2 teams in this group that go 2-1 and make it through to the playoffs, so we're gonna have to figure that one out. Anything left, Blaker, before we can send this one off?
No, I just want to give a big shout out once again to the sponsors of Crossfire Season 5 who helped make this all possible. You know, SCL and myhud. We got to see that myhud, I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head, but so I was going to call it Auto Director, but that feels disrespectful. But I've just been told it's called the Smart Observer, because I haven't heard of it too much, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I was very impressed with what I saw before my eyes. And again, SCL, a tool that helps me prepare for these broadcasts, and I'm sure, Henry Bat, you've found some use out of it as well. But with that being said, Henry Bat, that is going to be it. We've had a relatively one-sided showing between Detonate and Aura, but we do have some more Counter-Strike action coming at you this week, so make sure you follow Play Crossfire on all of our socials, and until next time, we hope you have a great night.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.